Did you know that one marijuana arrest occurs every 42 seconds in the United States? Marijuana is actually the third most used recreational substance in the U.S. following alcohol and tobacco. So today, I am discussing why I think marijuana should be legalized. The first part I'll go over is the reasons I think that it should be illegal throughout the United States and also Kansas. Also, the other states that have legalized it and like how they're being affected by it now in 2016, whenever most of them legalized it, 2014 or maybe 2013, and all the benefits of marijuana. Reasons to legalize. It can be taxed. The government can make plenty of money off this for the government-funded programs, like we have food stamps and benefit cards, but you always need money to be recycled back into the government to be able to have money there to do everything. It also costs a lot of money to have people incarcerated for marijuana charges. Like some people have been charged with certain ones that put them in imprisonment, and being imprisoned costs quite a bit of money just on the government, let alone the person, too. I think the crime rates will be down. It makes sense because there's a lot of marijuana charges, and if you get pulled over and the crime rate it would go down quite a bit from just marijuana being legal, because it's just another thing that we have knocked off. I'm not saying we should legalize all drugs, but I think marijuana should be treated as alcohol. Which also brings me to my point number 3. It's safer than alcohol. It's not toxic for your body, and it's also not as addictive as alcohol or tobacco or heroin, methamphetamine, or other said drugs. So I think that it is a safer drug, in my opinion, if used correctly. And if you are using, you should not be driving because you're driving under the influence still. Other states. Colorado, which is probably the most common one that we all think of whenever we think of the state that has marijuana that's legal, has earned $40 million in tax revenues just from selling marijuana. It decreased the crime in the first 11 months of 2014. $8 million went to funding youth education and drug prevention programs. $8 million, that's a lot. Economic growth and the lowest unemployment in years. Just in Colorado. Imagine if we just legalized it everywhere and we could open up dispensaries and make the economy good. The next state we have is Alaska. In 1975, they passed a law that 4 ounces in your house was for personal use, not for selling, was not illegal. Everyone was really, really unsure about passing it in 2014. Everybody has to be 21 and over. There's $35 billion in sales. And in Alaska, one of the topics right now is if they want to have what they call pot cafes, which is where you can publicly smoke in these little cafes like Amsterdam and other places have. And then Washington was the first state to legalize it. The possession rate went down by 19% just in the first year. The sales arrest went down by 16.1% in the first year. And you have to be licensed to be able to grow or sell. You can't just be a person and sell it. And I think that's good because you can take classes and you can be educated on it. And it cannot be within 100 feet of an elementary school, which is very, very understandable. Now the benefits, I'm going to do the medical first. It's legal in 23 states. It's hard to get a prescription for it. It has really good pain relief for people that are suffering with cancer and stuff. It reduces stiffness and muscle spasms. It stimulates appetite for people who have eating disorders or just don't ever have an appetite, so it helps them eat. It's treatment for the glaucoma, and glaucoma is like an eye disease, and it has a lot of pressure on your eyes, and it reduces the pressure on your eyes. Now, the non-medical benefits, you're much mellower and calmer, and you can handle situations better than if you were drinking. people get enraged when they're drinking. I don't think I've ever heard of somebody getting enraged from being too high. Rather than whenever you're drinking alcohol, whenever you're driving under the influence, you'd be driving faster. You'd actually most of the time be driving slower. As I've said before, it's also a lot safer than alcohol. It reduces stress. If it was legal, it makes it harder for the younger generations and the children to get it. And the taxes, I mean, as I said before, it can make money and we can grow the economy and just make the world a better place. Today I talked about three reasons why marijuana should be legal. I talked about the other states and how they're doing with the legalization of marijuana. And I talked about the benefits of medical and non-medical. So let's bring down the crime rate and legalize it.